Apat kamay ang pangarap sa edukasyon para sa lahat. Sulong Edu Kalidad. Ito ang Department of Education School on the Air.
From the radio-based instruction of the Department of Education, Division of Tagum City, Magugpo Pilot Central Elementary School, we are giving you the quality education in terms of literacy on air. We are giving you our full of service in teaching even in this time of COVID-19 pandemic. Broadcasting from Charm Radio 103.9 FM, where your heart belongs. This is your School on the Air in English 6.
Broadcasting live from 103.9 Charm Radio. This is Teacher Roselle Humangit Kabaho, your radio host for today from Magugpo Pilot Central Elementary School. You are now listening to 103.9 Charm Radio FM. Hello, grade 6 students. It is such a wonderful day to learn. And all I can say is, wow, it's me and your module. We are going to help you to learn and explore through radio-based instruction. To start with our radio-based class, go to your favorite spot where you can feel comfortable to listen. Then grab your pen, notebook, or paper. And don't forget your English 6 Module 2, Lesson 2, entitled Detecting Biases and Propaganda Devices Used by Speakers. Remember, kids, you are not allowed to write anything in the module. Do all the activities in your notebook or paper. Now, check your module. The title of the module you are holding should be Quarter 2, Module 2, Lesson 2, Detecting Biases and Propaganda Devices Used by Speakers. Be sure that your modules has complete pages. If it's complete, you are now ready for our lesson. If you find something missing in the module, don't worry. Just feel free to ask assistance later from your family. Prepare yourselves, kids, as we are going to start our lesson in English. Like what I have said earlier, our lesson for today is about detecting biases and propaganda devices used by speakers. Again, our lesson is detecting biases and propaganda devices used by speakers. To discuss our lesson for today, we shall have our radio teacher from Magugpo Pilot Central Elementary School, Teacher Iris Christine A. Mejos.
Good day, grade 6 students. I am your radio teacher, Iris Christine A. Mejos. Today, we will be talking about detecting biases and propaganda devices used by speakers. After going through this module, you're expected to 1. Recognize word choices to detect biases and propaganda devices used by speakers. And number 2, differentiate bias from propaganda. Do you know how to determine which is fact and opinion? Now, let us try to answer the activity found in page 10 on your module. Can you see it? That's great! Let us read first the direction. Write F in the blank before the number of the statements that you think are facts, and O if the statements are opinions. Ready? Number 1. Brandon is the tallest player in the game. What is your answer? If you have written opinion, very good. It is an opinion because If we don't really know the exact measurement of Brandon's height, we cannot say that he is the tallest one among the players. Number 2. Green peas are rich in iron. Is it fact? Perfect! The correct answer is fact. Because, based on studies, green peas are rich in iron. Number 3. Freedoms are the greatest. Is it fact or opinion? If you said opinion, fantastic! The correct answer is opinion, because it was not stated what makes freedom the greatest. Number 4. Kenneth is wearing an awkward hat. Is it opinion? Amazing! The correct answer is opinion, because saying that something is awkward is according to a person's opinion and not based on facts. Number 5. Statistically, women live longer than men. The correct answer is fact, because it is based on statistics or a study that said women live longer than men. If you were able to get 5 to 4 points, congratulations! If you got 3 to 2 points, that was a great start, kids. Now, listen carefully to the discussion to learn more about bias and propaganda. Most of us are really hooked on social media. In social media, we can read different social issues, information, and news around the world. These days, it is very important to be able to recognize bias. Which is the correct information, or which is not? Do you know what bias is? Bias is a stronger feeling for or against something without enough reason. It is prejudice. But how are we going to detect if there is a bias? Do you want to know? Here are the tips. First, we need to know the difference between fact and opinion. Fact is something that can be proven true through studies or researches, while opinion is a statement of what someone thinks or feels. Let me give you an example. Mrs. Chanko is the best teacher in the entire school. This sentence is biased because it is inferring that the teacher is the best out of the whole school without research. Second, know the different tips in detecting bias. Number 1, read the article critically. You have to read every single word. Number 2, look at the headline. You also have to read the headline to check whether they describe something positively or negatively. Number 3, ask yourself if the article helps or hurts anyone. You have to look at the words used to describe, if the language makes them sound good. Number 4, figure out who's reading the articles, because reporters might want to write stories that their readers will appreciate, which could lead to biased reporting. Number 5, look for exaggerated or colorful language. Consider whether the words that the reporter used in the article are informational or emotional. Number 6, identify the reporter's tone to see how they feel about the topic. Number 7, check out the images to look for bias. Take note of any shadows or colors that make the subjects appear scary or triumphant. Number 8, Make a list of the sources in the article. Consider whether one type of organization gets more coverage in the article than the others. Number 9, examine the statistics and studies cited in the article. Determine the connection between the statistics and the author's main point and check to see if the statistics make sense. Now, get ready as you're going to have an activity to test if you really know how to detect bias. Now, look for the activity entitled Let Us Practice More. Can you see it? Let us try to answer the activity to test if you learned something. First, let's read the direction. Tell whether the statement is a bias or propaganda. Number 1. All the boys in track and field are tough. What is your answer, kids? If you answered bias, good job! It is bias because not all the boys in the track and field are tough. Number 2. Olay giving you a pollution-free glow. Is it propaganda? Perfect! The correct answer is propaganda because it is all about an Olay product that can give you a pollution-free glow. Number 3. Kids always fight. Time to think. What is your answer? Excellent! The correct answer is bias. Because kids do not always fight with each other. Number 4. Globe, making things possible. The answer is propaganda. It's because Globe Telecommunication influences people to use their product by using the tagline, "They make things possible." And number 5, all dogs have fleas. Is it propaganda or bias? The answer is bias. Amazing! Why bias? Because not all dogs have fleas. You have done an awesome job today, kids. Maybe some of you did not get the correct answers, but do not worry. I believe that the moment you finish all the activities, you will have additional knowledge about bias and propaganda.
Thank you very much, Teacher Iris, for that enjoyable and interesting discussion. And there you go, kids. Earlier, Teacher Iris discussed about detecting biases and propaganda devices used by speakers. Let us have a quick review. Again, what is bias? Bias is a stronger feeling for or against something without enough reason. Prejudice. It's also when a writer leaves out important words to influence a viewer or reader. Being biased on words choice is leaving words out of a headline or paragraph that don't support your side or point of view. Propaganda is something that is used to influence the belief and opinion of people. Now that you already learned all about being biased and propaganda, it would be easy for you kids to know if the one you are reading is biased or not, if it is true or not. Most especially today, we need to be very vigilant because if we easily believe in what we read, it may harm us. Kids, don't forget that when answering your module, you have to follow the directions carefully. If you have a hard time in understanding the directions, ask some help from your family or your teacher. Break a leg, kids. According to a famous quote, Most important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. Learning will continue. Quality education must be delivered. Handang isip, handang bukas. Sulong edukalidad. The Department of Education is in one with us. Remember, we are all in this together. All the way from 103.9 Charm Radio FM, this has been your host, Teacher Roselle Humangit Kabahog.
And this has been your radio teacher for today, Teacher Iris Christine A. Mejos.
Saying, stay safe, stay healthy. To God be the glory.